Hello, everyone. This is Raquel, and welcome. It is the solstice in June of 2026, and I'm so excited that you're here with me. There is so much that is happening across the globe of new energies opening up, um, things unlocking, things getting anchored onto the planet. And it's just a very active time, if you will. Solstices and equinoxes always tend to be very event oriented, if you will. There's always a lot that is happening. If you have been tuning in at all, you will know that there has been quite a bit of kind of almost deadlines that have been happening at the quantum level as so much is being birthed onto the planet that there's no more time for a lot of delays. And again, I'm talking quantum levels. I'm talking I'm talking levels in which, let me stop here for a second again. Why is this not recording? Bear with me just a minute, you guys. Let's see if we've got any. It's not recording at all. Wow. Well, there we go. There you have it. Okay, so um, technical difficulties always seems to be the case when we are um, in such high frequencies. Yep, just nothing recording here at all. Interesting. Okay, so let's kind of start over again. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, we are really, man, it's exciting to be alive right now, but it can be challenging as well. And um, you know that with birthing also comes some things that have to be unlocked. As we bring higher and higher frequencies onto the planet, it does it pushes things to the surface. Let's put it that way. And so some of you may have been feeling some pretty profound anxiousness or um, not feeling comfortable in your body. You may have been noticing some pretty intense emotions surfacing and coming up that you may not be able to even identify why, right? What was the trigger? What was happening? Why is this in my face right now? And the truth of the matter is, a lot of collective architecture is shifting, and we are all part of that collective architecture. So depending upon who you are, what you came in with, what you agreed to do, you could be feeling more than others. And so just know that it is also really wise to stay in your heart and recognize when there isn't an obvious trigger, that it is a bigger collective energetic that is bringing things up in your fields, bringing things to your awareness, to clear, to resolve, and bring back into zero point in harmony. But there is so much that is beginning to really take hold. We've been in the ascension process, well, our entire lives, right? But really, many people just becoming aware of anything associated with the soul or with the ascension back in 2012. There was a huge group that came in 2020 when all of that went down across the planet. People started going inward and asking more. And we are at a threshold of really taking the ascension to a whole nother level. And of course, that is also talking about things we've talked about with bifurcation, meaning that there are those that are on the forward momentum, that are waking up, that are on the process, in the path. No, on the path, in the process. There we go, of the ascension. And you may notice in the weeks and months to come that there is more of people falling away from your day-to-day experience or your awareness. And I want you to know this is actually part of the process, because when frequencies don't match, they can't play together, right? They can't really coexist as well together. And so you may be noticing that friends, people that you associate with, things that you used to go do that you enjoyed may not feel the same anymore. And I want you to honor that and not second guess it or worry about it or get anxious about it. What I want you to realize is that the underlying current, the frequency, may not be a match for you anymore because you are on an ascending path. And there are those that have yet to really start stepping into that. And there will be more and more separation, which is exactly opposite of what the whole ascension is all about. But you will notice it because there is a lag. There's a lag in timing. Um, for those people in your life that can't match your frequency. And I don't want you to think there's anything wrong. You may have to mourn that a bit. You may feel sad about that. You may miss those people or those experiences that, man, used to feel aligned that no longer do. And open your field and open your experience to finding that which is now a match, right? And you will continue to, it's all about a continued refinement. It's about a continued finding and opening to frequency and what is a match for you at the new that you are anchoring in. And it's to be truly celebrated, although from a human experience, it may feel um, like a loss. But I want to remind you that it is those of us who um, are making the path forward. It is a path, and it is one that those that seemingly kind of fall out of our pathway, out of our life, it's the path they're going to be able to follow, and they're going to be able to do it with more ease, right? We are building the bridge for those to follow without with more ease. Let's put it that way. And what is anchoring onto the planet right now, all over the planet, quite frankly, but pretty extraordinarily in a few places, is really being boomeranged, if you will, out across the planet. And many of you may start to feel big change coming for you. You might feel job changes, physical moves, um, relationships. That's what we've been talking about before, but big relationship shifts um, that is propelling you more forward on the path. There has been awareness of something called ascension hubs that are locations on the planet energetically that support awakening more than others, right? And those are still haven't all been revealed. Geez, that's not even the true statement. That are still coming into awareness where those ascension hubs are going to be, right? We're much more aware of where they're not going to be, right? The places that feel really dense, really heavy, some of the big cities that are just hard to be in, right? But the ascension hubs are going to start really pulling people to those locations. And of course, it's always free will choice. Of course, you don't have to make moves, right? But there will be those that really feel the pull and the guidance to make those shifts. And if you are starting to feel that yourself, I want you to know it's very real. And I want you to know once it actually is in alignment, it probably will help happen pretty quickly. So, the next 6 months, the next year, there's going to be a lot of um, people that will be feeling that tug, that pull, that desire for certain locations on the planet. And if you're not, please don't read anything into that as well. We all are on our perfectly a path that is perfect for us. Some of us are very easy to pick up and move. Some have families and deep ties. It's a little harder, right? So whatever you're feeling, it may be, I need to go to that place and spend some time. And this goes beyond what is known as the sacred sites, right? The usual suspects, right? Um, but I'm just telling you, if you feel drawn to locations on the planet, that's why, right? And it goes beyond, I just want to go on vacation to this place. There is a deep calling you forward, and that is very real. And to honor that as much as you really can, don't be afraid, right? If it's aligned, it'll show up for a move or a vacation, or something will come onto the path that makes it very easy to make that move or to go to that location. Um, because those locations are actually anchoring into the planetary body those higher instruction codes, the higher morphogenic fields. And when I say higher, I'm saying the new, that is taking us into higher states of consciousness, um, to support us, right? And the planet. The planet is always going first. The planet has always been a step ahead of the ascension. She, and I always refer to her as a she is leading the way. And so, as she opens these locations, as the energy gets higher and more anchored for the new energies, the new systems, the new paradigm, the new level of consciousness, many of us will be drawn to those locations, and they will continue to grow. They will continue to expand. There will be more and more and more of them um, as we continue to anchor all of this onto the planet. And so that's happening right now. And places that have been incredibly dense are going through some pretty magical awakening and opening um, across the planet as well. So stay tuned for that. Be aware. And just if you feel those tugs, know that that is part of the process, because those will assist our physicality, and our physicality is what allows the consciousness to actually embody or land. And so there are ways in which we are getting ready to be even more supported on this path, physically more supported on this path. And so that is a really exciting shift that is happening specifically right now in the next few months, as this has opened up, as we're going through this gateway threshold, solstice, whatever you want to call it, many different ways to describe the energy, this celestial event that we are currently in. And so that pull will probably get stronger and stronger and stronger. And always follow your inner intuition. You may feel it, but oh gosh, I can't get there yet. That's okay, right? When it's aligned, it's aligned. And so just be aware of that, be prepared for that, and feel into the excitement, because there is a lot of anchoring and opening and unlocking that is going at such a faster pace than we have ever experienced before. And so it's a quickening of sorts, if you will. Um, and so really tap into that, into that as maybe the angst or the anxiety or things come up because boy, the two can't coexist, right? The higher frequency we go, anything that's a lower vibration has to come up and be processed through, cleared, brought back to 0 point, loved into harmony. Wow, that was a lot of information. So just realize that you may feel that sense of adventure. You may feel a pull to locations on the planet stronger than ever before. And that is truly a part of the ascension process. And so honor that, play with that. Even if you can't make it to the physical locations, there may be other ways to experience the energy that is opening up. One of the places on the planet that that's happening is France. Doesn't mean we could all get to France in the next 6 months. So eat French food, buy French butter. I mean, there's just a lot of ways, right? Look at French textiles. I mean, there's lots of different ways to tap in and anchor that energy within. Hi, I'm Raquel, and I am an ascension guide, helping you to awaken and remember your quantum self. I provide a holistic, multifaceted, and comprehensive approach to your awakening and ascension, bringing you to the cutting edge of consciousness while expanding your ability to live multidimensionally. You are a divine, sovereign being of light, and it's time to remember. Explore my website, RaquelSpencer.com, to learn about becoming your quantum self.